I just wanted to touch on, you said everything you do is planned. So essentially what you're saying there is when you were thinking about switching over, you had the big goal in mind of launching a product alongside. So
Yeah.
it was content first, then product, was it? I
Yeah.
take it.
Yeah. And all the content I put out, I had an end goal of eventually I'm going to launch a business based off like this content putting out. And the beginning of Blank Studios was I really wanted to do clothing. And then at the time, like every single video you go on my TikTok, I would either be wearing like a t-shirt from my brand or a hoodie from my brand. And the colors that I choose to include in the videos are very on par with the brand, right? And like the decor that I use in my home is very on par with my brand. So it's like a lot of concrete, a lot of cement, a lot of like metals, and a lot of like this blue color. Like every part of like my apartment and like how I shoot it and how I color grade it and post, it's like everything is planned, and I pay a
Yeah.
lot of attention to detail, right?
Yeah. It's
Because
like meticulous. Yeah.
yeah, I'm like really trying to hone in like my brand identity just through videos, and I just know if it constantly hits the For You page and if people keep seeing it, they'll just eventually like recognize me, right?
And I think that's an important note there, because I think what you've done, which every really successful brand does so well, is you know what is happening. Like, you know who the video is from. Like, I remember seeing a few of your videos and I knew that, I mean, we all like, I'm not going to try and, I guess suck you off here, like, so to speak, but like, without seeing your, like, I wouldn't know it was you, right? But I'd know that I'd seen that content before. Like, and we've all been there when you're scrolling social media, or, even if an ad pops up on TV, you sort of know what brand it is before you even, before the end thing comes on, before
Yeah,
you look at the name or whatever. And yeah, I think that's what you've done so well. And I think anyone listening, there's the first lesson, is really try to make content first.
yeah,
That's the first thing, and actually be engaging. Like, too many people try and sell. We say it so many times, but people are trying to sell first and then make content after, and it doesn't quite work out on social media all that well for them. But also, what you do really well is you have a brand identity, is I guess what the corporates would call it, and yeah, you do that really well. But it's
thank you.
interesting that you've thought about that to the point where, because I'll be honest, like, I looked at it and I thought, is this by accident? Like, did you just make like really cool aesthetic home vlogs because you're in love with your apartment, and then it's like, shit, this is doing really well, make a product?
Yeah,
But obviously not.
I think a lot of people like come across it by accident. Like there's brands like Every Other Thursday by Ethan. He's from Toronto, or was from Toronto, and I'm pretty sure he didn't have the end goal of like building a business. I think he just started posting like his fits, his lifestyle, and then like people really vibed with like his overall aesthetic, and then I think it made sense for him. I think I'm not sure, I can't speak for, I don't know 100%, but like that's just like the vibe I got. um like I think many people just stumble into a business, but like for me, I was like, I've always wanted to build a business, so, and I've like studied so many like different creators and how they do it, so I'm just like, okay, I need to put out content for the only goal of building a business. So like it was like one road only. There was like,
That's cool.
yeah, it's like no side roads.
It's cool that you've also done it organically too. Like, have
Yeah.
you ran any ads?
Yeah, it's a funny story. Like when I started this clothing part, I I started doing ads, and it didn't work, and B, I got banned in like 2 days.
Why did you get banned?
I
Why?
don't know. I really don't know. I think it was something about like the following, or like they thought I was suspicious or something like that. Like Facebook ads, it's like
Okay.
super,
Oh wow.
super annoying. Yeah. And then I was like, you know what? Well, F you. I'm just gonna like, I'm just gonna do it organically, and like I'm gonna make
Yeah.
it work organically. Yeah.
But I think that, again, going back to it, the time that we're living in right now, it is possible, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know how long that opportunity is going to be there for. We'll get onto that probably a little bit later. But yeah, did you have then? So obviously, to have an idea, usually an idea comes from inspiration of some sort. Have you got any inspiration? Like, what made you think it's actually possible? I know you said you've studied various creators and stuff, but it was maybe even to go as niche as the actual niche that you're in, you know, like home decor, for example. Like, did you have an inspiration in that regard, or was it just like, I'm going to take another inspiration and put it into this niche?
Yeah, so the home decor part was not planned. It wasn't part of the original plan. The first
Okay.
plan was to sell clothes, and then I quickly went onto TikTok and I was like, wow, like there's too many. And like I like what differentiates me from like all these other brands, right? Like yeah, I have a cool color, I have a cool like fit or whatever, but like how do I convey that so well on video where people buy from me instead of other people? And I just didn't see that as a viable like business. Like from a business perspective, I didn't see that as like the way to go. So then I was like, okay, now then I need to pivot. And then I've always wanted to do home decor products. So I was like, you know what? I'll figure it out. Like I'm just gonna dive right in and I'll figure it out. Because and like now looking back, my mentor touched on this as well. It's like the barrier to entry to home decor is like 10 times higher than like just making a hoodie, because anybody can go on like Alibaba or find any supplier, splash money on it and get a product, right? But for home decor, you need to like source from like 20 different manufacturers. Like the packaging is from one manufacturer, right? And then like the foam is from a different manufacturer, the metal is from different, the wood, and then someone needs to assemble it and someone needs to package it, right? So yeah, everything like the home decor stuff wasn't like the OG plan, but I just went with it, and I was like, you know what, I'll figure it out as I go, and I'm still figuring it out, but yeah, it's working out so far.
I love that. I
love
love that.
the part just there you said about being different to everyone. One thing that we see from like clients that have come and gone through us is that they'll always say like for content and kind of ideas that, oh, we want it to be like this person's. And there's never that like, I want it to be different. It's always like, yeah, I just want it to be like their videos. They do it like this, I want to do it like that. But the way you said it there, I want to be different. I think that just shows like how far you still will go with this, because you're always looking for that kind of next level in your own way. But that's really, really good, especially at your age as well, to have that mindset, I think.
Yeah,
Because it's so easy to copy, right? It's so easy to copy.
Yeah.
Yeah, like for example, like I'm not sure if you guys know, but like Cactus Flea Market, like the puffer print or like very cartoon designs on like hoodies and stuff. Like I see that all over TikTok, and it's a cool aesthetic, 100%. But like out of the hundreds, probably only one or two make it out of there, right? And
yeah,
and I'm not taking that chance. Like I need to go into this like with a much higher chance of like quote unquote making it. So I was just like, you know what? Like as much as I love creating clothes and creating garments, and as much as I love clothes myself, I was like, from a business perspective, this doesn't make sense. So I made the pivot immediately. I didn't think twice about it.